Hello all, welcome to another VVLSI online lecture series. Today we will try to implement the transistor level implementation of 4-bit CLA adder using static CMOS logic. So without wasting any time, let us directly start with the topic. Now since we have to design carry look ahead adder, we have to go back to the equations of the carry, the general expression of carry, and the general expression of sum. So this is the carry out expression, that is Ci plus 1 is equal to Ai Bi plus Ci into Ai XOR Bi. So we have generalized this and we have called the generate term as Gi, which is equal to Ai dot Bi, and the propagate term we have defined it earlier. Pi is equal to Ai XOR Bi. So as per this, the new equation of carry out looks like Ci plus 1 is equal to Gi plus Pi into Ci. So we have to implement this one by one. So we will start with our actual implementation. Okay. So we are starting with a design of 4-bit CLA. So for 4 bits, we have to have A0 to A3 and B0 to B3. So these are the two binary numbers which we will having. So for in a CLA, first we have to generate the generate and the propagate terms. So first we will implement these generate term with the help of transistors, static CMOS logic. So as per our equation, Gi is given as Ai Bi. So G0 is given by A0 B0, G1 is given by A1 B1, G2 is given by A2 B2, and G3 is given by A3 B3. So basically for every G0, G1, G2, G3 term, we have to implement a AND gate. So I will directly show you the implementation. So CMOS inverter implements the complemented functions. So this is an uncomplemented function, that is an AND gate. So hence we need to connect an inverter at the output of every implementation. For example, here if we concentrate on this diagram over here, this is the implementation for G0 term. So basically in the NMOS network, you have A0, B0 input to the two NMOS transistors, and in the pull-up network, the two of them will be in the parallel PMOS transistor. So there is a mistake over here. Here it should be a PMOS transistor. So kindly add a, the symbol is slightly wrong. So you have to add a bubble over here to indicate it's a PMOS transistor. So please avoid doing such mistakes. Here it is a unavoidable error right now. I cannot correct it right now. So kindly do that. Let me just see if I can do something on this. Yeah. So this is the correction which you have to do. So you have to add a PMOS transistor only at the pull-up network. So now this is how we implement a G0 term, and here the output will be like G0 bar. So you have to connect a CMOS inverter over here to make it G0. Similarly, you have to do this, repeat the same procedure for G1 also. So for G1, the inputs are A1 and B1. So for that also, the design procedure is remaining the same. Here there is no mistake in the diagram. And next we have, okay, let me just bring back the pointer. Yeah. So next we have G2. So G2 also the design goes similarly. So we have two transistors in series in the pull down network and two transistors in parallel with the inputs A2, B2, and the output is G2 bar. So you have to connect a CMOS inverter over here to make it G2. So similarly, you have to implement the J3 also, G3. So totally for for 1-bit implementation of the generate term, we require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 transistors. So the total transistor count for all the generate term block is 6 into 4, that is 24 transistors. So to generate the 4-bit generate term, to implement the 4-bit generate term, we require a total of 6 into 4. We have 4 blocks over here: G1, G2, G3, and G0. So we have to have a transistor count of total 24. Okay, so now let us shift our attention to, let me just, let us shift our attention to the propagate term. So the propagate term, the general expression is given by Pi is equal to Ai XOR Bi. So basically my P naught expression will be A0 XOR B0, which will be equal to A0 B0 bar plus A0 bar into B0. Similarly, you have to implement P1, P2, and P3. Let us consider P2. So P2 will be A2 XOR B2. So that will be equal to A2 into B2 bar plus A2 bar into B2. So let us check the first functionality of P0. So basically it will be a XOR gate. So you will have in the pull down network two NMOS transistors in series with input as A0 and B0 bar, and the entire result will be in parallel with another two transistors in series with the input A0 bar and B0. So this is the implementation. To the extreme left of your circuit, you have this implementation. So you have two NMOS transistors in series with the input A0 and B0 bar, and the whole combination is in parallel with two NMOS transistors again in series with the input A0 bar and B0. And exactly complement is happening at the pull up network, which consists of only PMOS transistors. Now, since the CMOS inverter works for only inverted output, so you will have your P0 bar. So to make it P0, you have to again connect a CMOS inverter at the output. So hence you generate P0 term, which is 1-bit propagate term. Now, similarly, in order to implement P1, so the inputs only will change. The inputs will be A1, B1 bar, and A1 bar into B1. The design will be similar. So as for P0 only thing here you have different inputs. You have, instead of A0 B0, A0 bar B0 bar, you have A1 B1 and A1 bar and B1 bar. So the design is exactly symmetrical for P1 bar term also. So since the output is P1 bar, we have to again connect a CMOS inverter to make it P1. And similarly for P2 block, we have to follow the similar procedure. For P2, the inputs are A2 B2 bar plus A2 bar into B2. So this is the design implementation. Again, we need to connect the CMOS inverter at the output to make P2 bar as P2. And this is the implementation shown for P3. So for P3, the inputs are A3 and B3. So similarly, you have to implement A3 XOR B3 for generating P3 propagate term. So for a single block, that is either P0, P1, P2, P3, the total number of transistor count will be, here you require for pull down network 4, and for pull up network you require another 4, and so total 8, and 2 you require for a CMOS inverter, and also to generate the complemented input. So A3 bar you have to generate. So A3 bar from A3 can be generated by a CMOS inverter. Similarly, you have to generate B3 and B3 bar. So that also we require another CMOS inverter. So 4 additional transistors are required. So the total count will become 8 plus 2 plus 4. So that will be equal to 14. And we have 4 blocks. So into 4. So the total transistors requirement for propagate term in block is 56. So here to generate the propagate terms independently, only depending upon the inputs, that is A1, B1. So we require at least 56 transistors to implement this using static CMOS logic. So the total transistor count for propagate terms block is 56. Okay, so next we come for the carry block implementation using static CMOS logic. So remember we are implementing 4-bit CLA. So I will go from 0 to 3. So we have to first implement the carry term. So we have carry terms as C0, C1, C2, C3, C4. So C0 initially is assumed it to be 0 in most of the cases. The initial carries assume it to be 0. Only in a specific cases in digital design we have to initially take the carry as 1. So unless specified, we can take it C0 as safely as 0. And the general expression of the carry is Ci plus 1 is equal to Gi plus Pi into Ci. So remember, we have already done the implementation of Gi and Pi terms, so we will directly use them here. So first we will implement C1. So C1 is given by I is 0. So C1 is will be equal to G0 P0, sorry, G0 plus P0 into C0. So this equation we have to implement. So for the implementing this equation, this is an uncomplemented equation. So at the output, you will get a C1 bar because we have to implement using static CMOS logic over here. So I will show you directly the implementation. So this is the implementation of this C1 equal to G0 plus P0 C0 expression over here. So here in the pull down network, you have two NMOS transistors in series with inputs P0 and C0, and entire combination is in parallel with G0, which is another NMOS transistor. And exactly complement happens in the pull up network where C0, P0 are in parallel in series with G0, and pull up network is made up of the uh, PMOS transistors. Now you might have become proficient enough to implement this easily. That is static CMOS logic. We have solved innumerable examples using static CMOS logic. So this is the implementation of C1 block. Now since the CMOS inverter will generate C1 bar, we have to connect another this static CMOS style will generate C1 bar. We have to connect another CMOS inverter to convert C1 bar into C1. So let us count the total transistor count over here. So for pull down network we require 3. Similarly for pull up network you require 3 more. So total 6, and 2 transistors you require for the CMOS inverter. So the total transistor count for C1 block is 8. So that's how you implement the carry bit, that is C1. Now let us slowly go to C2. So C2 will be given by G1 plus P1 into C1. Now already we know the expression for C1. C1 is G0 plus P0 C0. So directly we can write it over here. G1 is P1 into G0 plus P0 C0. So we need to implement this expression now. This is like a nested SOP, that is nested sum of product expression. So you have to implement it very carefully. So the expression, I hope the expression of C2 is clear now. It is well written over here. Now we have concentrate on implementing this equation. G1 plus P1 bracket, G0 plus P0 C0 close the bracket. So we have to implement this expression. So we'll shortly see that. Okay, so for C2 implementation, first we'll start with the least count, that is P0 Z0. So P0 C0 will be two transistors in series, and both of them will be in parallel with the transistor with the input Z0. And again, the whole combination will be in series with the transistor with the input P1. And again, the whole combination will be in parallel with the transistor with the input G1. Now, all these are NMOS transistors in the pull down network. Exactly opposite, you have to do it in the pull up network. So for the pull-up network, let me just show you over here. Expand it a little. Yeah. So the pull-up network, we have to do the exactly reverse. So P0 and C0 will be in parallel, which will be in series with G0 transistor, that is PMOS transistor, and again they will be in parallel with P1 with the transistor with the input P1, the PMOS transistor, and the whole combination will be in series with G1. So exactly the complement you have to implement in the pull-up network, and the output will be C2 bar. So you have to connect a CMOS inverter at the output to make it C2. Now let's check the total transistor count. So for the pull down network, you require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 transistors for pull up and 5 transistors for pull down. So total 10. And you require 2 more transistors to implement the CMOS inverter. So the total transistor count for C2 block is 12. Okay. So now we are implementing C3 term. So as per the formula, the C3 formula is C3 is equal to G2 plus P2 into C2. And C2 from the earlier expression we have seen over here, C2 is given by this expression, that is G1 plus P1 into G0 plus P0 C0. So this entire term as it is, you can bring it over here. And then this big expression for C3, we have to implement using static CMOS logic. So let us do that now. So the expression over here is this G3, C3 is equal to G2 plus P2 into this huge expression over here. So first we'll start with P0 C0 block for the pull down network. So both of them will be in series, which will be in parallel with the transistor with input G0, and the entire thing will be in series with the transistor with the input P1. And then again the entire network will be in parallel with G1. Again the entire network will be in series with P2, and then lastly in parallel with G2. So what I mean is something like this. Yeah. So let me just open up the expressions over here. Yeah, so we have the expression over here on this side of the screen, and on the right hand side we have the implementation, the pull down network implementation. First we'll concentrate on that. So P0 C0, so P0 C0, two transistors with the input P0 C0 will be in series in parallel with the NMOS transistor with the input Z0, and then it is multiplied with P1. So P1 transistor will be in series with this, and then the entire thing network is in parallel with G1. So another NMOS transistor will be in parallel with this network over here. So with the input G1, and then again this thing is in series with P2. So again we have another NMOS transistor with input P2, which is in series with the entire expression. And then again with the entire expression over here, we have G2 plus. So again with the entire network, we have G2. We have NMOS transistor with the input G2 in parallel. So that's how we implement the pull up down network. Similarly, we can implement the pull up network. We can observe it over here. Okay, I don't think so I can fit the screen over here, so you have to adjust a little bit. So same way you can implement using similar strategy for pull up network. For pull up network, we have to use only the PMOS transistors. So since it is producing C3 bar, we have to connect a CMOS inverter to make it C3. Now let us count the total transistor count. So the total transistor in the pull down network are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 in a pull up, 7 in a pull down. So total 14 plus 2 transistors are required to implement CMOS inverter. So the total transistor count for C3 block is around 16 transistors. I'll want to show you the C3 block implementation together on the screen. So yeah, that's it. I guess I can adjust this. Yeah. So this is the entire implementation of C3 block. Okay, so next we turn our attention to C4 term. So for C4 term, as per the formula, it is given by G3 plus P3 C3. Now, just now we have implemented the C3 expression. You can see this expression over here, G2 plus P2 into G1 plus P1 into G0 P plus P0 C0, and then you have a lot of brackets. So entire term of C3, you pick it up from here and place it here. So you will get a huge expression over here again. So this is the expression. C4 is given by G3 plus P3 into G2 plus P2 into G1 plus P1 into G0 plus P0 C0, and you have three brackets closed. So remember, the final carry C4 is generated independent of the initial carry. In fact, C1 is also generated independent. C2 C3 and C4 are generated independent of the initial carry, that is C0. So that is the beauty of CLA. Now we have to, now our task is more tedious. We have to implement this huge expression over here, that is C4 expression. So let us concentrate our attention to this. I'll keep one window open for one PDF window open for this C4 expression, and on the left hand side I'll show you the implementation. So first we'll start with the pull down network. So as you can see, it's a built-in, it's a similar pattern we have to follow. So first we start with this, the lowest expression, that is in inner side expression, P0 C0. So P0 C0 are two transistors in series with parallel to, we have plus term, so in parallel to the transistor with the input Z0, again in series with P1, and then the entire thing in parallel with G1, again in series with the transistor with the input P2, in parallel with the transistor with input G2, in series with the transistor with the input P3, and entire network in parallel with the transistor with input G3. So that's how you implement G3 plus this P3 the plus this huge expression over here, the pull down network. Now similar strategy you can adopt it for the pull up network. So for the pull up network also you can adopt this strategy. So for the pull up network, you have to use only PMOS transistor, just remember that. So I'll now show you the entire implementation in one screen over here. I'll try to fit it on one screen. So yeah, so this is the implementation of, let me just increase the font a little bit. Yeah, so this is the implementation of C4 expression for a 4-bit CLA. So the generate terms, the 4-bit generate term, the 4-bit propagate term, and now the 4-bit carry terms are all ready now. Next we move on to the sum term. Okay, so we will move ahead. So we have seen the design of propagate, generate, and the carry terms. We'll move ahead with the sum term. So sum, we know that SI is equal to PI XOR CI. So we have to similarly do the implementation for, we have already generated we have implemented the circuit for the propagate term PI, P0 to P3, and we have also seen the implementation of CI term. So we'll start with sum is S0. So S0 is P0 XOR C0. So that can be written as P0 C0 bar plus P0 bar into C0. Similarly, S1 is P1 XOR C1, S2 is P2 XOR C2, and S3 is P3 XOR C3. So we have to do the implementation similar to what we have done it earlier for the propagate term, but with the inputs AI and BI. Here the inputs are PI and CI itself. So first we will see the implementation for S0 block. So S0 block, we have a P0 C0 bar, both of them in series with the inputs, and the transistors P0 bar and C0, the NMOS transistors with the input P0 bar and C0, the both of them will be in parallel with each other. And exactly opposite we have to do for the pull-up network. So this is simple XOR implementation of using static CMOS logic. For the S0, it will produce S0 bar. So we have to connect the CMOS inverter at the output to make it S0. So similar to this design, we have to implement S1. So for S1, the inputs will be P0, P1 and C1, and P1 bar and C1 bar. And for S2, we have input as P2, P2 bar, C2 and C2 bar. And similarly for S3, we have input as P3. So let us check for S3. S3 is P3 C3 bar plus P3 bar C3. So that's the implementation using NMOS. And for PMOS, P3 and C3 bar will be in parallel, which will be in C3, which will be in series with P3 bar into plus C3. So that's the implementation using static CMOS logic. So this will give me S3 bar. So I have to connect it to a CMOS inverter to generate S3 term. So let us check the total transistor count now for one block. So here it requires 4 transistors for pull down network, 4 transistors for pull up network, and 2 transistors for CMOS inverter over here. So total 10 transistors you require, and we have 4 such blocks, that is S0, S1, S2 and SP. So the total transistor count will be 10 into 4, that will be 40. So the total number of transistors will be 40 over here. Now we are ready with the entire design. So I'll just glance through the whatever we have done so far, and then we will try to implement that using LT-Spice. So first we have design using CMOS inverter for the generate terms Z0, G1, G2 and G3. Then we have designed the circuit for P0, propagate terms P1, P2 and P3. Then we have individually designed the carry blocks, that is C1. Then we have C2. Next we have C3. The design becomes more and more tedious as we go for higher order carry terms. C3 design we have, and then we have C4 design using static CMOS, and lastly we have the design for all the 4 bits of sum, that is S0, S1, S2 and S3. Now what exactly we need to do is we need to implement it all together inside in using a simulation tool. LT-Spice is a freeware, so we can use it. Everyone can use it, and it's strongly recommend to verify the concepts. One should use LT-Spice so that you have a better understanding of the topic and the concept. So now what we will do is, now we will directly go to open the LT-Spice file and try to add two 4-bit binary numbers, and let us see whether our design really gives you a 4-bit addition or not. So again, a reminder, our topic is today transistor level implementation of 4-bit CLA adder using static CMOS logic. So we have implemented the complete design on paper. So we are now ready to implement it on LT-Spice and verify the result. So let us open LT-Spice, and let me open already the circuit is made for your reference. So 4-bit CLA using static CMOS, and let me just click on open. Okay, so that might be a surprise for you. You have so many transistors. As you can see, you cannot probably, they are very small. So I will explain you bit by bit, and then we can have it at a closer look. So let us first, let me just expand this a little bit so that you get a little comfortable. Okay, so let me just do this a little faster. Yeah, I hope you can see now clearly at least one block. Yeah, so here you have G0 term. So G0, you remember it was A0 into B0. So it is this implementation, as you can see over here. It is A0, B0, and for PMOS transistor, it will be A0 parallel to B0. So I'll just show you to on the screen also where this block is. So this block is over here. So can you see this now, the two things together on the screen? Let me just minimize this a bit. Yeah. So this is your G0 block, and this is my CMOS inverter. As you can see, this is my A0, B0, A0, B0. And remember to connect all the substrate terminals of the PMOS to VDD and all the substrate terminal of the NMOS to ground. And we labeled it the output G0 bar, G0, A0 and everything. And similarly, we can see for G1 block. So exactly everything is same, only that the inputs are A1 and B1. And next is G2 block. So for G2 block, the inputs are A2 and B2, and here also you can see A2 and B2, and again you have a CMOS inverter. Now let's move our attention to G3 block. So G3 block has input as A3 and B3, So as you can see now on your screens, you have G3 bar. So you have to connect a CMOS inverter. So all the generate blocks are visible over here. Now next we move on to the propagate blocks. So let me just minimize this screen again and let me expand it slowly. So this will have some meaning, or else it was not clear which transistor is doing what. So now you can see clearly your P0 block. Let me open the window for the P0 block also. So yeah, this is my P0 block as you can see. Let me just adjust this a little bigger. Yeah, now it is clear. So as you can see to your left of your screen, let me just cover this so that there is no confusion. So as you can see, the design on the paper and the design implemented in LT-Spice are almost similar. So you have your A0 over here, A0 bar, B0 bar, B0, and in the pull-up network you have PMOS transistor with the inputs A0, B0 bar, A0 bar, and B0. So you saw the circuits are exactly in the same way they are implemented, and here the output is P0 connected at the output of the CMOS inverter. So this whole block is my P0 block. Similarly, you have to implement P1 block. So P1 block only difference is the inputs are slightly different. Inputs are A1 and B1, A1 bar and B1 bar. Next is our P2 block. So for P2 block, the inputs are A2, B2, A2 bar and B2 bar. So here you have them. And for P3 again, it's exactly the similar. It's like prototyping. One circuit you do and other things you can straight away prototype. So your P3 is having the inputs as inputs with the transistor as A3, B3, A3 bar and B3 bar. And again you have a CMOS inverter. So this completes the propagate block. Next we'll concentrate on the carry block. So let me just minimize it again and let me show you one by one the carry implementation. So let me just expand this section of the screen. So I am zooming in so that the circuit is clear to you. Yeah, it is now fitting the screen. I hope so it is fitting the screen. Okay, so okay, now it has fit to the screen. Now let us compare it with a design circuitry. So we are checking the C3, sorry, C1 term. So here we have a C1 block on the left hand, on the right hand side we have on paper, and on the left hand side we have implemented the same in the LT-Spice. So here you have C0, P0, G0. Here you have C1 bar, here G0, C0, P0. So exactly same way we have implemented in LT-Spice. This is C1, and next we concentrate on C2. So C2 is a little down over here. It is slightly bigger. Every carry block is slightly bigger than the previous one. I hope it will be visible. I am not sure. Okay, I hope it fits now. So let us check the C2 block over here. So C2 block, you have your transistor P1 over here. And I think I need to adjust this properly. Yeah. So you have your transistor P1, then your P0, C0, G0 and G1. And similarly, you have your pull-up network as it is. That is G1, G0, C0, P0 and P1. And you have a CMOS inverter, and this is called as C2. So this is my C2 block. Let us check the C3 block. C3 block, first let us check the pull down network because it is quite huge. You cannot view both of them together. So let us check the pull down network of C3 first. So let me open up the C3 block. Yeah. So here also I have the pull down network ready. So this is my pull down network starting with P2, P1, P0, C0, G1, G0, G1 and G2. So yeah, exactly proper. Now let us check the pull up network. Oh, sorry. I have to drag it. Yeah. So this is my pull up network for the C3 block. So we are starting with P0, C0 over here. We have P0, C0, yes. Next is P1, this is P2, G0, G1 and G2. So yes, indeed, this is the pull-up block and we have connected a CMOS inverter to generate C3 from C3 bar. So this is about the C3 block. Now let us go to the C4 block. C4 block is even bigger. Now again, I have to view it the pull down network first. So let us check the pull down network first of C4 block. So this is my, yeah, I have to expand it. I have to zoom out a little. I don't know. I think I can, yeah. So now it is clear. So this is my pull down network starting with P3. So you have P3 over here, P2, P1, C0, P0, G0, G1, G2, G3. So exactly the same way we have implemented it over here. Now we'll check the pull up network. So this is the pull up network. Sorry, we have to do it this way only because then or else the circuit won't be visible altogether. It won't fit the screen. So that's why we are checking it pull up and pull down network wise. So now next is our pull up network for C4 block. So pull up network you have P0, C0. So C0, P0, then P1, P2, P3, and then you have G0, G1, G2, G3 blocks. And then finally you have C4 bar and you have connected a CMOS inverter to generate C4. So this completes the all the carry blocks right from C1, C2, C3 and C4. Last is sum blocks. So let me just expand this section uh, of the LT Spice workspace so that it is more clear. Yeah. So right now it is clear on the, let me just remove them, zoom out a little. Yeah. So, oh, let me just adjust to the fit to the screen. Yeah, so now it is there. So let us check the S3 block, S0 block implementation first. So this is my S0, I suppose. Yeah. So here I have a P0, C0 bar, P0 bar, and C0 as we have seen over here. And then in the pull-up network also you have the same P0, P0 bar, C0, C0 bar, and then it is generating S0 bar. So you have to connect a CMOS inverter. So the design is as it is, as on the paper. Next we'll check the S1 block. For S1 block the inputs are P1, C1, P1 bar and C1 bar. And next we'll check the S2. So for S2 the inputs are P2, C2, C2 bar and P2 bar. And the output is S2 bar. So we have to again connect a CMOS inverter as you can see over here to generate S2. Next we have S3. So for S3 the inputs are P3, P3 bar, C3 and C3 bar. And the output is S3 bar. So again we have to connect the CMOS inverter to generate S3. So this way from S0 to S3 we have shown you all the blocks right from P propagate terms as you can see. These are the propagate terms. I'm moving the pointer over here. So this is block number 1 P0. This is P1. This is P2. This is P3. Then next we have shown the generate blocks. This is G1, G2, G3, G0. Then we have some block S0, S1, S2, S3. Next we have carry blocks C1, C2, C3 and C4. So you will be surprised to know that the transistor count to implement a 4-bit carry look ahead adder using static CMOS is around 178. So you are free to count the number of transistors. You can implement this design on paper and you can count the total number of transistors. So if such kind of design comes in the exam, like 4-bit carry look ahead adder, it will definitely be asked for around 20 marks because it contains lot many transistors and lots of designs and equations. So now we are ready to simulate this circuit in LT-Spice. So let us start. So before going into it, we will see shortly what is the expectation from LT-Spice results. So let us see what do we get. So basically we are looking out for this. We are looking out for addition of two 4-bit binary numbers. So we'll be doing it like this. A0, A1, A2, A3 will be added with B0, B1, B2, B3 bit by bit, and the carries which are generated are C0 is the initial carry, C1, C2, C3, C4 are transistors implemented will generate those carries, and similarly S0, S1, S2, S3. So that's what we are looking for. So we have to generate around these many waveforms and verify the result at looking at the waveforms whether the addition of these 4-bit binary numbers are coming properly or no, along with the carry and the sum. So that's what the expectation is from LT-Spice. Now let us go back to LT-Spice and simulate the circuit. Okay, so we are back with the LT-Spice simulated circuit. So basically, what should this circuit do is these 178 transistors should work together and give us this result over here. It should add two 4-bit carry look ahead two 4-bit numbers, binary numbers. So basically, inside any chip, the 4-bit addition is done by these many transistors only in reality. This is using static CMOS logic. We have many other logic styles which we'll be seeing shortly. So now we are looking into the simulation. So let us go to simulate, click on run. Already the timing setup is already done for all the reference. Okay, so already the waveforms are set up. So we will just have to evaluate them just to save time. So let me click on the maximize button. So as you can see, already these waveforms are set up for y'all. So these are real time simulated. You can change the parameters and you can see the parametric change here also. So let me just run through what all waveforms are there. So we have C0 term over here, which we have defined initially. So initially it is 0 for some time period up till 4.5 milliseconds, and then it is 1. Then we have A3, A2, A1, A0, B3, B2, B1, B0, S0, S1, S2, S3, and finally we have C4. So these many waveforms we have, and these many waveforms we require to verify whether the 4-bit addition is proper or no. Now let us concentrate on the first bit. I have to little bit adjust this to screen so that I have to verify this using some numbers. Okay, so let me just yeah, I think this much is okay. And let me just keep this window also open so that I have to verify time and again whatever we are doing over here. Okay, so let us start. So the sequence will be this. First we'll start with A3. We'll note down the value whether it is logic 1 or logic 0. A2, A1, A0. We'll write it simultaneously here. Then next row we'll write it B3, B2, B1 and B0 status, whether 0 or 1. And then we note down S0, S1, S2 and S3 status along with the carry status C4 and C0. Intermediate also will be correct if the sum is correct. So basically even if we don't check C1, C2 and C3, that's fine. But we can definitely check. We will check it for one case and definitely. So one of the cases we'll definitely check all the values, whatever you can see here. But for most of the cases, we will mostly verify the answers by the sum term S0 to S3 and C4 term. So let us start. So first we have A3. So I have already worked it out for y'all. So let me just expand this a little more. Okay. Okay, I guess now it is clear to you. Yeah. So first, your A3 from 0 to around 1 millisecond is a time period of evaluation. So A3 is 1. So we have written it as 1. A2 is 1. A1 is 0 and A0 is 0. So we have written over here 1, 1, 0, 0. Next we'll check B3. B3 is 0. B2 is 1. B1 is 0 and B0 is 1. So it is 0, 1, 0, 1. So 0, 1, 0, 1. Now let's check the result first. So S0 is 1, S1 is 0, S2 is 0, S3 is 0, and C4 is 1. So let us check that. Yeah, S0 is 0, S0 is 1, rest S1, S2, S3 is 0, and C4 is 1. That's what we got it from the waveforms. Let's check whether it is true or no. So initially our C0 term is 0. As you can see in the upper waveform, C0 term is 0. So that we substitute as 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Next term is 0 plus 0, that is 0. Next term is 1 plus 1 is 0 is sum and 1 is carry. And 1 plus 1 is again 0 is sum and 1 is carry. So indeed the first example is correct. So this we got it exactly as per this number from the waveform. Now let us check the next condition. So this is our example number 2. So example number 2 is valid from 1 second to 1.5 milliseconds. So it is, I will just repeat the numbers now. First I will be repeating, saying A3 to A0. So it is 1, 0, 0, 0. So I've written over here 1, 0, 0, 0. And then from B3 to B0. So you have 1, you have over here B3. There might, B3 is 0, 1, 0, 1. So you have added 0, 1, 0, 1. Now let us check the sum. Sum is 1, 0, 1, 1. So sum is, we are starting with S0 over here, that is 1, 0, 1, 1. And the C4 carry is 0. And similarly, my C1 carry is also 0. So let us check whether it is correct or no. 0 plus 1 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 1 is 1, and 1 plus 0 is 1, and the carry is 0. So indeed it is correct. So the circuit over here with so many transistors, around 178 transistors, is adding two 4-bit binary numbers correctly so far. Now let us check the third condition. We will check all the conditions as you can see, so that we gain confidence into the over the circuit. Now let us check the combination where the third combination is from 1.5 millisecond to 2 millisecond. So I'll describe the start with A3 to A0. 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0. So A3 to A1 is 1, 0, 0, 0. Now I will start with B3, B3 to B0, 0, 1, 1, 1. So plus I will add 0, 1, 1, 1. Next I will check the sum starting from S0 to S3. So sum will be 1, 1, 1 and 1, and the C4 is 0. So sum is 1, 1, 1, and 1. And the C4 is 0. C0 is also 0, as you can see in the waveforms over here. So let us check whether it is proper or no. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Again 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. And 1 plus 0 is also 1. And you have C4 as 0. So indeed, adding two 4-bit binary numbers, the waveforms are giving perfect results. So far our three results are proper. Let us check the next condition. Now this is interesting. This have lots of carries. So our fourth condition is from 2 millisecond to around 2.2 millisecond. So this small pulse 2 seconds. So we have this small window over here. So I'll start with A3 to A0. 1, 0, 0, 1. So we have over here 1, 0, 0, 1. And next we have B3 to B0. 0, 1, 1, 1. So we have 0, 1, 1, 1. Let us check the output. Output is S0 to S3. So output is 0, 0, 0, 0. And C4 is 1 over here. So C4 is carefully 1 and here C0 is 0. So it is happening over here. Output is S3 to S0 to S3 is 0, 0, 0, 0 and C4 is 1. Let us check by adding these two numbers. So 1 plus 1 is 0 sum and carry 1. Again 1 plus 1 is 0 sum and carry 1. 1 plus 1 is 0 sum and carry 1. And again 1 plus 1 is 0 sum and carry 1. So yeah, it is also working, and in this case the carries are also generated. So only from 2 to 2.2 milliseconds the carry bits are also generated. So let us add the plane plots to view whether these C1, C2 and C3 carries are generated or not. So first I will plot C1, next I will plot C2, and next I will plot C3. I told you I will show you one case, and we will check this duration between 2 to 2.2. So this is the duration over here. So in this case, C1 is generated, C2 is 1, and C3 is also 1, and C4 is also 1. So indeed, this 1, 1, 1, and C4 is also 1. All of them are verified. So now you all can also check it, and I can delete this. So we have verified this C1, C2, C3 bits also. So it's working fine. Okay. Now let us check one more condition. One more name. We will check all the conditions. Let us check the fifth case. So fifth case is from 2.2 millisecond to 3 milliseconds. So we'll start from here. A3 to A0, 1, 0, 0, 1. So that's what we have written over here. 1, 0, 0, 1. And next is from B3 to B0. So we have 0, 0, 1, 1. 0, 0, 1, 1. So now we'll check the sum from S0 to S3. So sum we have 0, 0, 1, 1 and C4 is 0. So you have from S0 to S3 0, 0, 1, 1 and the C4 carry is 0 and C0 is also 0 over here. So indeed this is also working. Now let us check manually whether this additions work or no. So 1 plus 1 is 0 is sum, 1 is carry. Again 1 plus 1 sum is 0 and carry is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1 and 1 plus 0 again the sum is 1. So and the C4 is also 0. So indeed this case also it's working. So we have seen 5 examples. All the 5 examples the cases are working. We will go ahead, we will check all the examples. Next is example number 6. Time period is from 3 to 3.4 milliseconds. So let us start. A3 is 0. Now what we can do is, I will not go over here. You can concentrate on this as I speak over here. So this is A3 is starting. I'll start from A3. 0, 0, 0, 1. So here also it is that. Next is B3 to B0. 0, 0, 1, 1. So 0, 0, 1, 1. And we'll talk about the sum now, S0 to S3. 0, 0, 1, 0. And C4 is also 0. So 0, 0, 1, 0. So this is the result which we are getting from the waveforms. Now let us check. 1 plus 1 is C0 is 0. So 1 plus 1 is 0. Sum is 0, carry is 1. Again 1 plus 1, sum is 0, carry is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1 and 0 plus 0 is 0. So this is also fine. Another successful result. Let us check the seventh case. So seventh case, the time period is from 3.4 millisecond to 3.6 milliseconds. So this small interval over here. So let us start. A3 to A0, 0, 0, 0, 1. B3 to B0, 0, 0, 1, 0. So both the things are proper. Now let's check the sum. Sum is S0 to S3, 1, 1, 0, 0, and C4 is also 0. So here also it is S0 to S3, 1, 1, 0, 0. So C4 is also proper. And let us check. 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 0, 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0. So indeed, waveforms and manual calculation is also correct. Next case is from 3.6 millisecond to around 4 millisecond. Let us check this condition. So A3 to A0, 0, 0, 0, 1, and B3 to B0 is 1, 0, 1, 0. So these are the two cases, 0, 0, 0, 1 plus 1, 0, 1, 0. Let us check the sum here. S0 to S3, 1, 1, 0, 1. So 1, 1, 0, 1, and C4 is 0. So let us check it manually now. 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1, 0 plus 0 is 0, and 0 plus 1 is 1. So indeed another successful case. Now we'll go for the ninth one. Let us check whether we have that here or no. Yeah, we have that case over here. Only thing is we have to drag it a little on this side. Yeah, so we have our ninth case. We have two more cases and that's it. So nine cases, A3 to A0, 0, 0, 1, 1, B3 to B0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So these are the two numbers and let's check the sum. S3, S0 to S3, 1, 0, 1, 1 and C4 is 0. So we have sum as S0 to S3 as 1, 0, 1, 1. Let us check this condition. So this condition is C0 is again 0, 1 plus 1, 1 plus 0 is 1, 1 plus 1 is sum is 0, carry is 1, 1 plus 0 is 1, 0 plus 1 is 1. So again a successful ninth case we have. Let us check the last case with C0 as 1. So for the last case we have C initial carry as 1, A3 to A0 is 0, 0, 1, 1. B3 to B0 is 1, 0, 1, 0. So we have 0, 0, 1, 1 and 1, 0, 1, 0. Let us check the sum for the final time S0 to S3. 0, 1, 1, 1 and C4 is also 0. So we have 0, 1, 1, 1 and C4 is 0. Let us check this. So in this case, our C0 is, these waveforms are giving this results. Let us check it manually now. Our C0 initial carry is 1. So 1 plus 1, sum is 0, carry is 1. And now we have 1 plus 1 plus 1. So sum is 1 and carry is also 1. So we have 1 plus 0 now, we have sum as 1. 0 plus 1, it is 1. So indeed, the last case is also successful. So we have checked the 10 cases. All the 10 cases are working absolutely fine. And we have checked this 10 cases very, very patiently. Thank you for your patience also. So we have successfully seen that a 4-bit CLA actually adds two 4-bit binary numbers. So it's a quite an achievement. Congratulations. So this transistor circuit, these 178 transistors which we have learned in this curriculum, that is BVLSI, is indeed uh, adding two 4-bit binary numbers. So it's a big achievement for us. So congratulations to all. If you all have successfully implemented and understood these waveforms, one of the major motivation and the aim, that is the adder circuits which are used everywhere in digital design, one step you have achieved it successfully. So that's the beginning step to BVLSI. So we should be happy and proud to have completed 4-bit carry look ahead adder using static CMOS style successfully. So again, I will go back to the topic, and it is a very big achievement for us. Now we'll conclude by describing the advantages of static CMOS logic 4-bit used in 4-bit CLA. Advantages are the outputs are well defined. So we have only two states, either the adder bit increases. So we have completed successfully the transistor level implementation of 4-bit CLA adder using static CMOS design. So first we have implemented the design on paper. We have seen the concepts with the help of equations. We have done that, and next we have done it with this huge circuit in LT-Spice. So this should also motivate you all to try this design on your own. So until next time, we'll conclude this lecture. Next time we'll study another 4-bit CLA adder using a different technique. So till then, thank you.